pretty good, but I don't know. There's a lot. Well, yeah. There's one more. Struggle. Bryan Cranston. I feel like film history, so. Hello, lads. Welcome to the stream. Another D.R.M stream. So we're not doing a tier list today, but we're probably going to do another one soon. Hopefully next week, maybe not. I'll let you guys know, obviously. And, yeah. So if you didn't see the title, we are talking about the films I watched last January and February. This is the first time I'm doing this kind of thing. I got the idea from Carson Runquist. He does it for months, but you know, I got sidetracked. So we're just going to do 2 months here. Hopefully this isn't going to be a long one. Last time was like 2.5 hours, but this should hopefully be less than an hour. I'll try to speed through them quick. So to give you an idea of what we're working with, I have the diary. This is a diary for Letterboxd. It keeps track of all the movies you log and review. Got some reviews here, but some of them I just didn't get around to. So you'll be hearing my thoughts live here and pre-recorded for the people who don't watch this live. Anyway, we're just going to get this started. We're going to start with January. And I'm going to put a timer just to make sure I don't go on. Well, I mean, I don't think I need a timer. I got the clock right here. So I think we'll be fine. But yeah, let's just go back to the main camera so you can see my beautiful shaved face. I was going to get a haircut, but I'll have to do that afterwards. And yeah, let's speed on through this shit. I'm going to be very brief with these reviews. Hopefully. Alright, starting with New Year's Day, I watched a lot. So, we got Willow here from 1988. It's a Lucasfilm production. Probably their most obscure, unless you're an 80s person. But I know none of you are, so. I got introduced to this from the video game, which is pretty good. But I've always thought it was interesting, because it's starring Warwick Davis, so I mean, I can't think of many films, especially fantasy films, that have like a little person as the lead. And I thought that was very cool. The plot is weird as hell, very goofy. But like, if you like cheesy 80s fantasy films, I'd say this is the premiere one. That's live action, at least. So, I'd check it out. It's an 80s film. Just keep that in mind. Alright, I saw Burrow. This is a Spark short on Disney+. Cute as hell. Very much like this scene from Fantastic Mr. Fox, where they burrow, you know. Not much to say on that. I don't think it deserves the short category, but we'll see when the Oscars ever show up, you know. Saw Hamilton, finally. The Disney, Disney has the rights to the pro shot, or whatever you would call it, so. Yeah, that was Hamilton. And I ended the day by watching The Royal Tannenbaums by Wes Anderson. It's a good movie, I swear. I'll be right back. So this is normal for me. doing the stream? Microphone? I want to do this room with my phone. I might just pre-record or just re-record because or it is the future. I'm just wondering, seeing what you guys music and post. Sorry about that. I went on a mental journey after that. Anyway, back to the list. We have the Royal Tannenbaums. I'd say it's probably one of the best Wes Anderson's best films, and yeah, it's just got all the classics. It's got a great soundtrack too, very unique, and it's got great people in it. Weird people, weird, awkward comedy. I mean, I'd probably say watch one of his stop motion films first, but if you're looking into like what's a Wes Anderson film, this is it. So check it out. Mank. This is, I believe, one of the Best Picture nominations, and it was all right. I mean, I like Gary Oldman. It's, if you don't know, it's about the screenwriter for Citizen Kane. I was going to say Christopher Kane, and it was okay. I think it looked amazing visually. It's definitely one of those black and white films that really excel at being black and white with the contrast and everything. And, you know, it was okay, but like if I'm talking about a story about a screenwriter in Hollywood, I think Trumbo, starring Bryan Cranston, is a lot more interesting. So that's pretty much it on that. Dead Poet Society, a classic. It's one of those, you know, you watch in school and sometimes you just don't get to finish it, and I didn't get to finish it, so I finally did it. Damn it. And I loved it. It's got Ron Williams, it's got it all. It's a very good autumnal movie. If you like autumn colors, you like poetry, or just teenagers being rambunctious, it's a good one. Check it out. Booksmart. This is a little rude, but I called it the sister to Superbad because one of the chicks is pretty much Jonah Hill's sister. So yeah, but it's actually a little better than that. I'd say it's got. If you were a nerdy kid that didn't go to parties, but you know you felt left out, it's just a funny idea that like they're so jealous because the dumb kids who flunk class, not flunk class, but party, are also going to Ivy League. So it's just a fun idea, great comedy. You know, I'll remember it for sure. I'd be fun to put on in that party. All right, the Pirates, an adventure with scientists, or just Pirates Band of Misfits if you're in the U.S. like me. I love Aardman animation. You know, Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit. Gromit. It's a Gromit. I love this shit. So when I was recommended to watch this, I finally got around to it because pirate. And gotta say, pretty damn good. The thing is, like, watching a new Aardman movie nowadays, like, the jokes don't get to me. They don't really, like, click with me. But the humor, like the situational humor, I think is the best part about these movies. And I'd say I put it like on the same place as Chicken Run. It is the same director, but I think I like this more actually. I think it just has a more interesting story with the pirates and shit and how the pirates work. So, highly check it out if you like Chicken Run. I think it's even better than Chicken Run. I don't know why they're making a Chicken Run too. All right, Harvey Crumpet. We have to discuss the director. I believe his name is Adam Elliott. Adam Elliott. He's an Australian. Does stop motion. Come on. Oh yeah, it's okay. It's Adam Elliott. I'm having loading issues. But anyway, he makes some good shit, man. I watched this when I was like 12. Basically, it's about he does a lot of characters that are on the autistic spectrum and have other mental issues and disabilities, and this guy just has the worst and best life. He makes the best of every worst situation, and every spe- wait, no, is it every sperm is sacred is from Meaning of Life, but they have a similar God. God is better than football. God is better than beer. Uh, I'm not really explaining this well, but it's on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube. I would buy it myself, but check it out. It's a good time. And then I went on a binge of like all of Adam's shorts because like this shit's great. If you love stop motion, you love adult stop motion, which is so rare nowadays. You gotta check this guy out. There's a trilogy of stuff called Uncle, Cousin, and Brother. Uncle's pretty good. Cousin, I really liked. It was really weird. And Brother really hit me, man. That really got that ending. Whew, that hits. These are all very sad too. Obviously, I mean they're about people with like unfortunate disabilities and just rough lives and just unlucky hands. And then I saw his first short, which is 2D, so not as interesting, but it's got some pretty good humor. Some joke about a dick, but you know, he's not really dick humor. And then I was on a stop motion binge. I watched Creature Comforts, Aardman short that I believe won Best Animated Short at the Oscars, maybe? I don't know. But it's a good time. Basically, interview style, but it's animals. But they're taking real life interviews and putting them over animals, and they work really well. So well, they made a little short series that I haven't watched all of yet. But if you like that situational office like interview style, check this out and this series. I'm not really good at this, am I? We have a lot of films. All right, The Station Agent. This is starring Peter Dinklage, early 2000s. It's just a movie about life, man. And I can really dig a movie about life. Like, it's just about this guy who loves trains, has a passion for it, but he's short and he can retire early, so he does. So he's like only 40 something. And he's just in New Jersey. I believe it's New Jersey. This is a very realistic New Jersey film. And I'm kind of pissed I didn't write a review on this because I really wanted to. But, like, God, I love this film. And it's only like 80 minutes. Uh, we could talk about another time why I actually prefer shorter movies over like 2.5 hour ones usually. So, but excellent film. If you need a short film with Peter Dinklage, have a good time, couple sad times. The Station Agent from 2003 is a high recommendation from D.R.M. All right. I checked out the pilot, Long Gone Gulch. If you didn't know, this is a kickstarted uh, animation pilot, and it's a very Cartoon Network like, very early Cartoon Network, but like also Nickelodeon looking. It's weird. It's kind of like a cross between both because I'm telling you, it would never be on Nickelodeon, but I could see it being on Cartoon Network. But it was a good time. You know, I mean, westerns need to do a lot to impress me, and I like the story. It felt like Rango, kind of, but if Rango was more like supernatural, kind of, and had humans as well. It's a good story though. It just needs a little work around the edges, but I think it has a lot of potential. I saw Motherless Brooklyn. This is one most people probably didn't see or thought was just Oscar bait. It's from 2019. It's basically a detective story with Edward Norton, and he has Tourette's. And, you know, I'm not an expert on the subject. I don't have it, so I can't say if it was accurate, but it felt genuine for the most part. And look, I think it's more important to have a genuine character, good or bad, morally, than to have one. Well, you should also have one that's accurate. It's a complicated issue. I like the movie. It's a little basic, but it's interesting. It had a decent cast. I mean, I'm gonna watch anything with Willem Dafoe in it. That's a fact. So it's probably not gonna be for most people, but if you want to check it out, I would give it a shot again. But I probably won't be watching it again. Okay, there are a few Ghibli movies I have not seen yet, so I had to fill that out. The Tale of Princess Kaguya, based off the famous Japanese folklore. Very good Ghibli. I mean, most Ghibli is hard to really compete. I mean, there's only a couple films I think that are not as good as the other ones, but this is definitely one of the best. Though I did watch the English dub, and we're talking about Studio Ghibli here. They usually have like the best English dubs, period. And I don't know, it was a little lacking. I thought Lucy Liu was very good, but like the Princess Kaguya has some great moments for the actual character and actress, but some of her lines just felt a little like I don't know. It's a decent dub, but like I might want to watch this one again Japanese exclusively. But excellent film, excellent art style. Probably one of Ghibli's best. I mean, let's be real. Then I saw Up in Smoke because, well, you know, if you have touched weed, if you are a stoner, you have to see this movie, man. You have to. It's like gospel. It's like sacrilegious not to watch Up in Smoke. Is it a good movie? Not really, but it's a great experience. It's a great time. It's got some. It's actually got some funny jokes, and it's not horribly long. It knows not to overstay its welcome, and it's got some really funny stuff with like the police, like how they're organized and stuff. It's more than you think it is. Yeah, at the same time, it's exactly what you think it is, if you know what I mean. It's Up in Smoke, man. Cheech and Chong. And if you don't know who they are, Cheech is the guy from, he's one of the hyenas in Lion King. You know that one, man? Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I am Cheech. All right. The Five Bloods. I love Spike Lee's work. I really do. I think it was well made in some aspects, but it's a 2.5 hour movie. And I was just talking about how, like, length for me, the camera's still on me, right? Yeah. But length for me in the film is very important. And it's not necessarily the length, it's pacing. I don't mind a 2.5 hour movie if it doesn't feel like one or feel longer than it actually is. So, The Five Bloods just has some pacing issues for me. And the guy who I believe is nominated Well, actually, no, I don't think he is. But the guy who played the MAGA soldier, like he had some really good scenes, but at the same time, like I felt like it was just too much. It felt like black exploitation, which I'm sure they were going for because it is a Vietnam like feature. But I don't know, it just didn't really click with me. I get why people like it. Chadwick Boseman was great, but he's only in it for like maybe less than 2 minutes. And yeah, I probably wouldn't see it again. I mean, Black Klansman was funnier, but I do think Black Klansman actually did a similar thing, but it hit better. I think it was just a better made film. This one just had a great idea, had a great message. I just don't think the pieces were well put together. But great film. Gave it 3.5 for a reason. I rewatched Megamind because it was on TV. Why not? And yes, I would say there's some steep competition when the comedy for DreamWorks, but I'd say it's in the top three funniest, even with that one gangsta line. Yeah, that's a thing. But also probably one of their most thoughtful films. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it now, so I don't really need to add to Megamind discussion, but it is a great film by them. High anxiety. Okay, this one needs some explaining. So everyone knows Mel Brooks, right? It's Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs. He does parody films on famous films, and this one is a tribute to Alfred Hitchcock's films like Psycho and stuff. And also, I need to realize my audience because I'm sure some of you just don't really know this film stuff like I do, because I'm a filmmaker, baby. But this was okay. It was very obvious with its homage, and there might have been like a couple of good jokes in it, but besides the song, this was pretty boring. It just, I don't know. Mel Brooks has some hits, and he has some stinkers. It's kind of like a slight stinker in my eyes. I watched the short Destino. This one has a very interesting history. In short, it was short that Walt Disney was making with Salvador Dali, based off of his art, and obviously never got finished in its original form. So in the early 2000s, they made it, and they were going to make it for a Fantasia 2000 sequel, but that never happened, so they just made it, and it's very good. I just like the CGI. I guess some people aren't into because it feels like disingenuous, but the hand drawn stuff is still hand drawn, and I think the CGI actually being super creepy kind of adds to the Salvador Dali style. So I think it works. I would check it out if you're even remotely into Dali or animation history, and it's on Disney Plus. So yeah, that's an easy suggestion. We're almost done with January, uh, and I am only like 20 minutes in. We're doing good. We're doing good, people. Yeah. Mid 90s. This is a Jonah Hill directed film, and I actually really liked it. It felt like if you're just one of those souls who really wants to be in the 90s right now, like it does feel like the 90s, man. It is its title for sure. It's just about kids in California being 90s kids. We want to hear our music whenever we want, however loud we want. We want to smoke. We want to skate off of buildings and fall onto a table, you know? And I really like the main kid in this poster. I just like him, you know? He's just trying to be cool. He's just trying shit out. And, it can be problematic, but I think it's good. If you like eighth grade and other stuff about teenagers, I would check it out. Maybe not the best one, but it is a pretty good one. I don't know why I rated it this high, but I saw Gogol 13, The Professional. Okay, in short, this is basically the Japanese equivalent of James Bond, but instead of a spy, he's an assassin, hired gun, and he's a very famous manga character. But nobody outside of Japan knows who the hell this guy is. I mean, there's like one video game that made it here, and that's it. So I do think I saw it in sub. I'm sure if there was an English dub for this, I'm sure it's laughably bad. I just hope they don't censor it because the gore in this kind of series is real. They don't hold anything back. Like I think it was popular mostly because it was super gory and crazy. But the movie, there was this one scene that made me really uncomfortable with a rape scene, and like it didn't really add anything. And like James Bond, there is kind of like a femme fatale thing here with the women being, the women, and none of the female characters stand out except for this chick who's actually a bad guy. But I think I like the character more than the actual series or like this movie. There is an interesting twist, but it felt very drama-y, like hitman drama, I guess. Yeah, I did that. But yeah, this is election. It's I saw it because of the election. It's about a high school election for high school class president with Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon. And I don't know, man. Like, I really like this one character who's like the jock who can't be the jock because he broke his leg, so he's running for president instead. And I just love this guy. He's so goofy and innocent. But some of these jokes were like really, really uncomfortable, dude. Like a little, there's like a joke about Reese Witherspoon having sex with one of the teachers, and then during sex, Matthew Broderick thinks about that, and like, oh no, that really, really didn't fly with me, man. I think the concept's great. I think some of the jokes are really good, but stuff like that really made me uncomfortable. And this film will make you hate Matthew Broderick, which is intentional, but like, I don't know. I wouldn't. This is not one I would see again, but you might like it. And we're done with that page. Oh god, I gotta scroll down. And we're almost done with January, I swear. We'll take like a little intermission because I'll probably want to eat something. Um, Scrolling down. All right. I'll just skip this one. It's Resident Evil Childhood. It's made by Smashers. I just saw it because of that. I wouldn't recommend it at all. Only if you're part of the. If you don't know what it is, don't bother. I finished The Queen's Gambit, and it's on Letterboxd for some reason. Yeah, that's one thing with this site, man. It has TV shows, but like kind of miniseries TV shows, but it's weird. And they have like the Marvel shows and stuff. The show was good though. It made me appreciate chess even more, which I've only had a bit of appreciation for only past couple years. So good on that. I love Anne Taylor Joy. Annie Taylor Joy? Whoever. The one that's probably an alien, but a cute looking alien at that. Good for you, girl. And yeah. Great concept. More chess, please. Fun time. And another fun time, we got Swiss Army Man. I finally saw it. I thought it was going to be a little more serious than it was, but oh my god. Like, wow. Best Daniel Radcliffe movie ever. I'm not going to say a word. You just need to see it to believe it, man. Just don't go in expecting anything. It is funny, but I will not tell you why. It's one of those a lot of people saw, but if you haven't seen it, man, just watch it and don't expect anything because your world will be rocked. Um, this is one I've always wanted to see because I've always find it really fascinating. It's Return to Oz by Disney. This has a very interesting history, and I can recommend a video on it because like I couldn't top this guy who was obsessed with this movie and its history. But basically, if you didn't know, the Wizard of Oz books are fucked up and dark. They're basically American Grimm fairy tales, and this movie is like the actual most accurate depiction of Oz. Because everything else has been shaped by the 1939 movie, 35, and I kind of like its balls. It has so much tenacity and balls for being so dark and disturbing and weird, but I kind of love it. I mean, it's not a film I can enjoy as like I do other films because it's just so weird. But I kind of like how weird it is. I just think certain things don't work, but I wish more Oz adaptations would actually take from the books, but no, everything wants to be a reimagination of Oz. But no one would think of taking inspiration from the 15 books that were made. I mean, it's just completely public domain and completely not used. But if you want to see an Oz movie like no other, check out Return to Oz. It is dark, disturbing, bizarre, a little uncomfortable. It is a weird time. Brace yourself if you're gonna watch it. But highly recommended. The effects are. I could talk about this movie for a while. The effects are amazing. Amazing stop motion, amazing animatronics, amazing effects. So if you're an effects person and you don't care what you watch, just give it a shot. I rewatched The Music Man. It's a musical, and if you're gonna watch one classic '50s musical, I'd either say Singing in the Rain or this. But it's a good one. Classic character, probably like the best character to dupe people ever made, or one of the most classic of the liar revealed trope. And then I rewatched The Great Mouse Detective because I've seen all of Ron and John's Disney films, but I haven't seen this one in a really long time, and I say it holds up. It's got some weird tonal issues, especially that intro with the music and the really creepy, oh my god, my dad got kidnapped. And yeah, I think it's been mostly forgotten, and most people who know about Ron and John's work, like, mostly don't talk about this film, which is a shame. It's got a proto Gaston with Radigan, voiced by Vincent Price, and he has an excellent villain song. It's not a musical, so if you don't like their musicals for some reason, check this out. It's a cute little detective story. Um, and I would probably not place it as high in my ranking of their films, but that ending in the clock tower, oh my god, that was really good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the movie. It's not long. And that's that. And I saw Miller's Crossing to end the month. This is Coen Brothers, one of their earliest films and least talked about. And I think I know why, because like visually this film is kind of not generic, but not it's not a visually striking film. It's very bland in that sense. So like I wouldn't pause this film and get a frame from it. It's not like every shot is art, but that script, man, that is the strength of Coen Brothers. Their writing, their characters, they just have distinct, funny personalities. They're both funny and dangerous and weird and bizarre, but they're very human stories. I mean, obviously this doesn't hold a candle to Fargo, but if you want a proto Fargo, kind of see where they started, I say it's a good movie with a protagonist that's morally gray. I can't remember his name. Oh, it was Casper because of the friendly ghost. Casper is an amazing character. I just love how he treats his son. He wants to be really nice to him, but he also has to be a father who beats him. I'll just give you a little beating. It's okay. It's okay. If you're doing the Coen Brothers ranking, I would actually recommend this. I wouldn't skip it. So that's going to be it for January, folks. I'm going to take a little break. I'm just going to eat a snack, and then we will do February, and hopefully we'll get this done before 2 o'clock. I know no one's watching. Pretzels. All right, no time to waste. Let's do February. Also, I'm going to be adding music and other edits in post because this is just a stream and I don't think it's going to be popular, so yeah. All right, throughout January and February, I saw the X-Men anime, which was on Netflix for some reason, but it was actually decent. Not something I would highly recommend, but if you're dying for X-Men content, it's okay. I think they do the characters fine. Cyclops, Wolverine, and Beast are all done very well and have great voice actors. I mean, you have Steve Bloom as Wolverine, I'm gonna watch it. I do think Storm was not done so well. They kind of do the thing like in the comics where her powers are weaker, but they don't give her the cool mohawk design. And I don't know, I just don't think it's well done. I just don't think her character is well done. She's just kind of the woman of the team until uh, the white Emma Frost shows up. I do like the new chick Armor. I don't know if she's in the comics or anything, but she's cute, I guess. And there was a cool scene where they just had a bunch of random X-Men characters in the background, and they had Deadpool and Nightcrawler in a shot. So cool on them. But it's an anime. It's okay. I saw Cutter's Way because it was recommended from my folks, and it was an 80s indie movie, like very low budget 80s movie. Interesting idea. I do like the main guy, Cutter. He was the dad in Home Alone, I believe. He's basically this ex-war vet who has discovered some sort of conspiracy about a company and wants to bring the company down, but that's not going to happen. But he'll try, damn it. And Jeff Bridges is in it as the guy who works at a said boat company. Yeah, I don't remember the details well. I mean, I don't know if I could recommend it, but it's a movie. It's a slightly interesting movie. I saw Shoplifters. This is an Asian movie that did get some praise, but didn't blow up like The Farewell or Parasite. But I do think it's very good. I like the concept of people, very poor people, just surviving by, shoplifting and using what they have and taking these children in. I mean, it's just something you don't think would happen, but probably does happen. And I think more people need to check this movie out if you're getting into Asian cinema because you saw Parasite or you just love it. I would check out Shoplifters. It is a recommendation for sure. Then I finally freaking saw Office Space. Uh, this is basically, I mean, if you've seen The Office, this is probably not the first thing with an office, but this is the proto Office story. It's by Mike Judge, King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, but it's more King of the Hill than Beavis. It's crazy to think that was the same person, but this is very good. I do think it holds up. It is a 90s movie for sure, but you know, it has it's kind of a generic plot, but it has everything you want to see and it is well done. And you should watch it without these blue light glasses so you get that blue light soul sucking look of being in an office space. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. All right, Hannah and Her Sisters, another folks recommendation. It is a Woody Allen pick, so if you don't want to watch a Woody Allen movie, don't watch it. But if you don't mind, if you want to check out what the hubbub was about, this is probably one of his best films. It's just about three sisters and their relationships in New York. It's got Michael Caine. It's got Woody Allen, unfortunately, and probably not what my audience is into, but I don't care. I like it. Starman. We kind of went on a Jeff Bridges thing this month because they're just a lot of Jeff Bridges movies, and this one is goofy as hell. It's Jeff Bridges 80s, so this is before what was it, Wild Heart or whatever. This is before his really good stuff, but I kind of find it hard to believe this is a John Carpenter movie. It's just so funny. Both in a good and a bad way. Like, if you just want a goofy alien story that's somewhat serious, then check it out. But, I don't know. This had, a lot of Oscar nominations, and this being the one by John Carpenter that got that is kind of like upsetting. And we're talking about the guy who did The Thing and Halloween and Starman. Starman got him nominated. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Fabulous Baker Boys is another Jeff Bridges thing. It's another low budget one, and it's okay. It's okay. It's just about these two brothers, um, and they're piano players, and they have a chick who adds, that appeal, and it's a music movie, but it doesn't really go to a lot of interesting places, except for like this little girl that Jeff Bridges hangs out with, but that's a little weird. Besides that, it's an alright movie. Did see The Wind Rises though, and that was a really good idea because my god, that was a great movie. This is definitely a contender for best Ghibli film. It's one of their longer ones, like Howl's Moving Castle, and I forgot that most of them are actually longer than most kids' films. But this isn't a kids' film. It's not. It's probably their most adult, probably one of their most sad films, but it's an important film to watch if you're an artist, if you just love Ghibli films. And it has a very good English dub. Shout out to my boy, Joseph Gordon Levitt, for, being the man and being the man in this. It has a very good. Was Christoph Waltz the German guy? It sounded like Christoph Waltz. I mean, that would have been awesome. But, I just like the story, and it's about a real person. And, you don't really get to see that a lot in animation. So I'm really happy that something like this exists. And then we got Valentine's Day. Forever Alone. But I saw some cute movies. I saw Ernest and Celestine. So freaking adorable, man. If you just like adorable movies, this is like really well done. And it has a good English dub, though I'm sure if you're a purist, it'll have a very good French dub as well. Forrest Whitaker's in it, which shocked me. And I don't know how old the bunny is. I felt like she was a kid. But, like, it's a bunny, so who the hell knows how old she is? But, it's still cute, right? Then I watch this every year. I watch Paperman. If you've not seen the Disney short Paperman, what are you doing? It is one of their best shorts of recent years. I mean, it was 2012. And one of the best examples of cel-shaded 2D looking 3D animation, great soundtrack. It's got it all, man. One of their best shorts ever made. Gotta say it. And I forgot how amazing this film was, and I put it in my top 50. It's Amadeus. And this is a full version, full 3 hours of Amadeus. This is a long movie done right, damn it. Absolutely amazing. There's another movie about Amadeus Mozart called World Beloved, which is on my list, but like, how could you ever top this? It's got the visuals, it's got the music, obviously. The characterization of his rival is very good. And if you're very like picky about like historical films and them being accurate, this is probably not for you because like this is just a story that happens to star these real life people. But the funny thing about history is that we don't know, and so much of it we only do the guesswork from the pieces we have. So like they pretty much are stories. Hell, some. I mean, I should probably just do a video on this because I can't articulate how amazing this film is right now, but it is great. I did a review on Mike's new car, and goddamn, Why didn't they make more Pixar shorts with Mike and Sully? And also, I forgot to do that video, but like, yeah, why didn't they do more Pixar shorts with Mike and Sully, man? What the hell? I showed one of my friends the Rugrats movie for the first time. I have both of them, obviously. Sorry, I had to do that. And the Rugrats movie, number one, I need to make a video about both of these films. So I'll be pretty brief here, but oh my god, if you haven't seen it, it's only like the show and title and the characters. Everything else just is not like the show, for at least from what I remember. And the reason why? It's directed by two like surrealist Russian animators. I don't know why they chose those people, but goddamn, this is like one of the most unique adaptations of an animation, just a television show I've ever seen. And I gotta give it props for like just having the balls to be so bizarre and dark and weird. Not for most people. So if you liked Rugrats a lot and you haven't seen it in a long time, you're probably not gonna like it, but give it a chance. You might be surprised. I saw 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Disney. It has that live action Disney goofiness, and I probably won't watch as much live action Disney as I watched with animation. I've watched almost all of Disney's animation because I'm interested in that history. But I don't know. The live action stuff usually doesn't do it for me if it's the older stuff, except for this. Art direction's incredible, but it is goofy as hell. If you just want a goofy ass old movie that's actually very entertaining, check it out. It does respect the story, but I haven't read it, so I can't tell you if it's super accurate or not. But it does really seem to be of the heart of the story. It's 20,000 Leagues, y'all. And the main reason I watched this film was because I was super freaking jealous that I never got to go on the ride because it ended 3 years before I was born. You see the shit that pisses me off? It's the petty ass shit like that. Shout out for the Funkland, but making the recreation in VR. They're the shit. Alright, I rewatched Tarzan, and we're near the end of the list here, and near the end of the stream, so hope you've been enjoying if you actually watched this unedited version. This is Tarzan by Disney. There's a couple of films as I watch Disney Plus and have it for the next year that I need to see, just to really know if they've hold up. And I do think Tarzan holds up, but it's got some issues. I, for one, don't think the lack of music is a problem. I understand that it kind of ruined the Disney musical for a while, but like they're back, and you know, I look at that this perspective that they did like what, not like 7, 8 musicals in the '90s, and they probably wanted a break. So they wanted to do a different approach, and I think it works for this film. Doesn't work for Brother Bear. Definitely doesn't work for Brother Bear, but I do think it works for this film because this isn't a musical, baby. It's a montage. And maybe I'll make a video about Tarzan. Maybe I will, if that's something that you guys are interested in. But like, dude, 2020 really made me regress. I felt like an ape man. And I've always been one, but like, damn, I've never felt more like a Tarzan in my life than I have in the past year or so. And I could use a Jane, but you know, I'll wait. But excellent film. Like the deep canvas stuff, I forgot how much of it is in the film, and it really shows how incredible the art of the film is. It's very impressive. I mean, Treasure Planet obviously gets more props, but like It's very good shit. And hell, I had a great. I need to cut this off, but I had a great discussion about how this is probably the best Tarzan movie, but how he's kind of a bland character. And this movie really gave him layers and made him interesting. And I just have to respect that. So it's Tarzan, baby. If you haven't seen it or haven't seen it in a long time, check it out, man. It might be better than you would think for a Tarzan movie. It's not what you would think. We watched Spider Verse for the 10th time. Didn't watch this film called Violet, and I probably won't. I just did a joke because Violet from Smash. And we end the month on A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, starring Bing Crosby. Wow. Yeah, sometimes I just watch shit to see if there's any value, and I don't know why I gave this 1.5 stars. Maybe because I like the book that I haven't read, but Dominic Noble did a great video on how it was super controversial to British people because, like, basically the plot is a Connecticut Yankee from the 40s or whatever goes back in time to King Arthur's time and, like, changes the course of British history. And, it's actually a very interesting book, but none of that is in this film. Like, he invents a couple things. It's a musical because Bing Crosby, and it looks like a high school production. Those sets look like they could burn or be toppled over with one simple kick. It is terrible. 1 star. Why did I give it 1.5 stars? Why? And that will do it, folks. That was my weird ass stream where I just talked about movies. And I didn't really do a good job. But, if you did like it, let me know. Like I said, I am going to be doing other tier lists and stuff. I just need to practice and see what streams are good and what streams are bad, what I can improve on. And also, I know the schedule is not ideal, which is why I know some people watch them when they're on the channel afterwards. A lot of this is just temporary, but if you enjoy it, just let me know, leave a comment, and if you want to see more, I'll probably do more opinions on the later months. But for now, this is going to be the end of the stream, and this is D.R.M. sailing off. See you later, guys.